Yes, we're on. So, day two of the Business Momentum Challenge. How are you going? How are things going with day zero and day one? Yeah, you've got your why, you've got your what, and of course, the moment you surface those things, the speed bumps are going to come up, right? It's what happens in any business where you've got this idea. I mean, how many times has it happened? You're on holidays or somewhere where you really relax, and you're like, yes, when I get home, I'm going to do this. And then you come back and you go to do it, and it's like the balloon starts to get deflated, minimized, smaller, and all those things that you don't want to happen, but they happen, right? And I mean, have you experienced that, Lena? I'm sure you have.
Absolutely. Yeah.
More
And
than
if I
once,
don't catch
maybe.
myself, it happens every time. Yeah, every time
Yeah.
I've got a new idea, a new thing come through. Yeah, it happens. Like
And then
the
it just
impulse is
gets,
always there. Mm.
yeah, it's like there's a spark and then it suddenly starts to die down. So, what happens? Our stuff gets in the way, right? So we've got all these beliefs. You're probably all familiar with the word beliefs. It's not a new thing anymore. And what happens is that they become the speed bumps. What you've made up about how you fit into the world and how you fit in with the people around it, what you've made up about your capability and capacity, it's going to play a part, right? It has to. But what we're doing here, it's the momentum challenge, is we're actually going to flip things, right? So the way I see it is this image of speed bumps. Most people, when they come up to a speed bump, slow down, right? And what happens with business is that people, stuff comes up and they start to take it easy. They start to play it safe. But what you can do instead is actually use it as a launch pad, right? And we're going to talk about that in a moment. So, what happens when you speed up to a speed bump? You actually get airborne, right? And you get to fly, which is what we want here. We want to be able to fly. We want that natural momentum that you've created. So, how do we do that? You see, you've got these beliefs about yourself, and the thing is that all your life you've been compensating for those beliefs, right? So if you believe that the world's not safe, then you're going to put structures in place, strategies that are going to make the world feel safer for you, right? Et cetera, et cetera. We're going to share some of the beliefs with you so you can take a look and get an idea of which ones might apply to you. Now, the thing is, what occurred to me a little while ago is that all these things are actually your genius, right? So basically, you've been developing these amazing skills that, yes, used unconsciously, are getting in your way. But if you can start to become aware of them and start to use them intentionally, you can actually use these skills, these strategies, these genius ways of compensating for your beliefs that you've been developing for the last however many decades. You can actually use them to create momentum, right? To make you unstoppable. So, as an example, we were chatting about this before, Lena. Do you want to share your
Yes.
example of a
Yeah.
compensating strategy?
Compensating strategies. So, I grew up as a foreigner in a country. My family background is Croatian. I was born and grew up in Germany, and I didn't speak German until I went to kindergarten. So I was bullied because I didn't speak the language. And I had this feeling that I don't belong and I have to learn, how to speak. So today I speak 6 languages fluently, right? And it's served me well, right? But originally it's compensation.
Yeah, and used unconsciously, it's a waste of time, right? But used
Yeah.
consciously, you can then propel things so powerfully. So I think what would be great is I'm going to share my screen, and you can take a look at we just picked out 10 of the most common beliefs, right? There's many of them, but these are the most common ones, and you'll definitely find at least one. I imagine more than one. So if you can take a look at this as this is part of your challenge for day 2. And just go, okay, what are the top 3? What are the 3 top things that impact you, that you feel like, when you look at it, you go, oh yeah, that gets me, right? I know that that's me. I believe that. So if you can't see the screen, I'll just read them out. I'm not worthy, or I don't deserve, whatever. Not enough, or I'm not good enough, some people call it. I need to be perfect. I don't belong. I don't have the capacity or capability. I'm insignificant or invisible. I can't trust, whether it's myself or others or the world. I just can't trust. I need to control. And again, that can relate to yourself, others, or the world, or all of the above in some cases. I need to find the right way, right? So this belief that there is a specific way, and then just people spend a lot of energy unnecessarily trying to find it, the formula for whatever it is, business, life, whatever. And number 10 is I'm powerless. I know that I've got a number of those. I could probably relate to all of them on some level. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, if I have the belief of I don't belong, it's definitely one of my ones that shows up. Then I'll go over the top to make sure that I'm nice to people and that I show up in a certain way, right? But it's not always authentic. So it costs me energy. But used consciously and intentionally, I've developed a skill in doing that, in fitting in when it's appropriate, right? So when I'm doing it unconsciously, I'm being inauthentic. But when I use it intentionally, then it's quite a useful skill to be able to speak to a farmer and a professor and the homeless person, right? And be able to relate and actually feel them on a level where I can relate to them.
Yeah.
Anything else that you want to
Yeah,
speak
just
to?
mentioning that these beliefs, like this is actually, it could be a whole program in itself, but we dive into these deeply into the next program. Like we dive deeper into this, and there's a whole area really dedicated to that, because when we are not just aware of these, because right now for this challenge, for the scope of the challenge is about becoming aware of it, right? To be able to recognize, this is, again, this belief, I'm trying to compensate for this belief that I have, like if you pick few. But later on, it's, as Beata mentioned, there's such a potential to leverage these and to transmute them and to use them to get momentum, like the bump becomes the launching pad. Beautiful, beautiful imagery there. We go really deep into that, but for now, it's just become aware of it and notice, here I'm compensating, there's a right way. There's the next course that will teach me the right way. Like that could be one of the simple expressions, right? Like taking endless courses, over preparing. You need to be perfect, if you don't think you're good enough. Things like that. The awareness now is key at this stage to know
Yeah, and
yourself.
that's absolutely. Thanks, Lena, for filling that in. And yes, that's as deeply as you need to go in the challenge, right? So each of the programs, it's a 3-level system. So each one will build on itself, but you get what you need from just being aware and just seeing how does it show up in relation to business specifically, because that's what we're talking about here. And then you'll notice all the other areas in your life. And even what you did yesterday and the day before when you shared in the group about your why and your vision. What were some of the things that came up? What were you thinking that people were going to think about you? Because that's normally a really good sign of a belief, right? What are you thinking people are going to think when you put stuff out there? Because you think that it's real, but it's not, right? It's just the belief showing up. And the person next to you will be thinking something different. Like they'll go, oh, yeah, everyone's going to think that blah, 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 blah. So take notice of those things and just be aware. You don't need to take it any further than that. And of course, share in the group, right? We've got this beautiful
Yeah.
safe container. You're all getting to know each other. So do share, do open your heart. We will be. We will be. We'll be sharing, will we?
Yeah. Of
Absolutely.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Right.
do share with us, and we will see you for day 3 tomorrow. It's good fun.
Yeah. Tomorrow we're going to dive into some really, really fun, getting into the momentum tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Okay.
All right,
All
everybody,
right.
take care, and we'll see
See
you
you
soon.
there. Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.